It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Marching line, marching line. Hey. Hey.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV for what is round and week number 6 of your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder. It is now time for your top-notch trucking 358 modifieds. Then later on, in about an hour's time, we will have the Catalytic Recovery Big Block Modifieds, followed by the Team Watson Racing Setups Next Gen Series live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. But for us, triple header here on Ultimate Dirt TV as we come to the virtual Limaland Motorsports Park for what is week number 6. We get ready. Heat race number 1 about to roll out onto the racing surface here at the tight little ball ring in Lima, in Ohio. Let's take a look at heat race number 1 starting lineup. Lining up on the pole position will be car number 28, that is Jeff Sharp. He's outside of the front row. The 32, Anthony Morano from position number 2. Position number 3 will be the 31 car of Brandon Templeton. He's outside. The 17 car, Mark Gilbert from position number 4. Rolling off at position number 5, driving the 79 car will be Dean Reynolds to the outside from position number 6. The 56 of Randy Shrees. And your 7th and final starter in heat race number 1, driving car number 88, that is Dan McLaren. Dan McLaren in car 88 to round out the field. We get ready, heat race number 1. Here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. Again, at the moment, we're only live on Ultimate Dirt TV. We are waiting to join us live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Safety car will go around one more time. The Steve King Foundation safety car goes around one more time here at Limaland. Double header for the Coast to Coast Racing League and the Coast to Coast Racing Network for the dirt side of things. And after your big block modified main event, we'll do the top 3 with the interviews here on Ultimate Dirt TV. And then we're going to get ready for night 3 of the Dirty Old Bastards Kings Royal. We crown the 6th crown and the 6 Kings Royal winner. Here we go, heat number 1. Your 358 modifieds. We're underway with Jeff Sharp to lead the field down into turn number 1 and 2. The 32 with Anthony Morano looking to the outside. They'll go side by side down into turn number 3. 2 by 2 by 2 and 1. 2 wide there on the opening lap. The old 3 wide Brandon Templeton trying to make it work on the inside. Trying to cut that inside tyre. Morano leads from Sharp down into turn number 3 and 4. Sharp back to second position. Templeton, Gilbert, there you go, wheel to wheel through 1 and 2. Gilbert to the middle of the racetrack. Templeton to the inside now, looking to get by that 28 car of Jeff Sharp. Meanwhile, behind them, Randy Shrees battles it out, and he will take over 5th position from Dean Reynolds in that 79 machine. Looking at 2nd and 3rd right now, Templeton in that black, green and white number 31 machine. Now going to challenge up for the race lead. Sharp gets into the back of Templeton. We stay green. Gilbert to the outside. Contact as they work down into turn number 1. Look at the nice chrome and shiny 79 of Dean Reynolds trying to move forward in heat race number 1. Morano from Templeton. Sharp, Reynolds and Gilbert. Watching Reynolds right now again working the inside on Jeff Sharp. Oh boy, Gilbert got into the back of Sharp. And poor old Jeff Sharp's been chewed up and spat out. Meanwhile, you've got a new race leader with 1.5 to go. Templeton, he'll slide up in front of Anthony Morano. Meanwhile, here comes Reynolds up to position number 3. White flag is out. 1 lap left to run here in heat race number 1 as they work down the back straight away. In the corners number 3 and 4. Checkers are out. Brandon Templeton gets the win in heat race number 1. Second will go to Anthony Morano. 3rd at the line is going to be Dean Reynolds. We'll take a look at your results. Jeff Sharp home in 4th, Randy Shrees 5th, Mark Gilbert 6th, and Dan McLaren in 7th. 1.69 seconds separating your 7 drivers in heat race number 1. Heat number 2 will line up like this on the pole position. It'll be the 011 machine of Randall Dixon to the outside of the front row. The 518, Joseph Grady from position number 2. Position number 3 with the 93 car of Jason Butterfield to the outside. The 513, Jeffrey Barker from position number 4. Position number 5 with the 35 of Connor Ross. The 302 of John Rayner from position number 6. And the 97 of Butch Baker lines up at a position number 7. So, Randall Dixon did not make the call for this one. So I can only assume that he had some issues, but we are ready to go racing in heat race number 1. Heat race number 1 is done, ready to go racing. In heat race number 2, I should say. Green flag is out, 6 cars taken to the racetrack. Randall Dixon not making the call. So it'll be Butterfield and Grandy. Keep an eye on Connor Ross, 3 wide down to the inside in a turn of 3 and 4. Ross got a little too sideways in the middle of 3 and 4. Now that'll move Jeffrey Barker in the 5-1-3 to position number 3, but Connor Ross wants that spot. It'll be Grandy leading the way from Butterfield. Here comes Barker, looking to the outside, gets a little tight. That car just drifted up the racetrack. That'll move Connor Ross back into that 3rd position. Ross and Barker as they work side by side down the front straight away. Grandy, Butterfield, Ross. Grandy, Butterfield, Ross, Barker, Baker and Rayner. Halfway home, 4 down, 4 to run. Heat race number 2 of 3, I believe it is. In fact, this might actually be the second heat. There might only be 2 heats in this one. So we might be on for what is going to be a quick night. Barker still looking to the outside on the 35 car of Connor Ross. Will have 2 to run as they work down the front straightaway. Your race leader, the 518 car of Joseph Grandy. Grandy, Butterfield, Ross. Ross slides up in front of Barker. Barker tries to turn it underneath him. And now you're watching Butch Baker in the 97 just to your right of screen. Butterfield goes high, wide and handsome. And they were 3 wide as the white flag flies. 1 lap left to run for Joseph Grandy. Ross still battling with Butterfield as they work out a turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Final time, heat race number 2. Oh, Barker goes around. Barker goes around. Grandy gets the win in heat race number 2. Second will go to Connor Ross. Third line is going to be Jason Butterfield. Butch Baker home in 4th position. Then it'll be Jeffrey Barker, John Rayner to come home 5th and 6th position. So just the 2 heats on the program. And right now we've got a warm-up session. So we'll take a quick little break and be back here on Ultimate Dirt TV.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV and, well, not just quite just yet on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, but it is the Coast to Coast Racing League Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Series 358 Modifieds taken to the racetrack here at Lanier National Speedway. It is feature race time as we take a look at your starting grid for the 14 starters. On the pole position will be car number 31, Brandon Templeton, to the outside of the front row. Heat 2 winner of Joseph Grady. Rolling off inside the second row, the 32 with Anthony Morano, to the outside, the 35, Connor Ross from position number 4. Dean Reynolds from position number 5 in that 79 machine, to the outside, the 93, Jason Butterfield from 6. From 7 will be the 28 of Jeff Sharp, to the outside, out of position number 8, the 97 of Butch Baker. Position number 9 will be the 56 of Randy Strees, out of 10 will be the 302 of John Rayner. Out of 11 will be the 17 car of Mark Gilbert. Out of 12 will be the 513 of Jeffrey Barker. And the final row, the 88 of Dan McLaren from 13 and the 011 of Randall Dixon from position number 14. It's time to go racing here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Series live on Ultimate Dirt TV. The first of a triple header on Ultimate Dirt TV. We'll have the big block modifieds after your 358 modified feature race here at Limaland. And then the 6th annual running of the Dirty Old Masters Kings Royal presented by Natural Carbon Company. It's time to go racing. Week number 6, Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Series. Let's get dirty for 30 here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. And we are green flag action down into turn number 1 and 2. Poor old Dean Reynolds. Boy, that was an absolute Barry Crockover start. Templeton slides up in front of Grady. Grady trying to go back to the outside down into turn number 1 and 2. Templeton will lead the opening lap. Continuing watch right now just to your right of screen, Morano, Ross. But it is all Brandon Templeton here in the opening couple of laps, but not without the pressure from that 518 car of Joseph Grady. Templeton, Grady, Ross, Morano, Butterfield, that's your top 5. 14 cars have taken to the racetrack here in the main event. Morano and Ross looking for that final spot on the podium. In the early parts of this feature event, we are 4 down, 26 to run. The racing line's still pretty narrow at the moment. The track still the same length as what we started with, and still the same width of what we started with. Meanwhile, looking at Dean Reynolds in that 79 car, that all chrome 79 for Full Throttle Motorsports and Super Dirt Car Series. Looking to the inside, looking for a top 5 here in the early parts of this main event. Slides it to the inside of the 93 car of Jason Butterfield. Your race for 5th and 6th position is on down into turn number 1 and 2. Keeping an eye on that top 4 pack as they start to break away from 5th and 6th position. Butch Baker in the 97 probably got the best seat in the house to watch this battle unfold between Reynolds and Butterfield. Butterfield in the 93 car. That's the pink, white and black machine. Meanwhile, Morano, you just see trying to get by Connor Ross for that 3rd position. Baker, that 97 machine, stalking and praying the 93 of Butterfield as Dean Reynolds gets to position number 5. We are now 11 laps into this main event, and boy, we are on for a very, very fast feature race. If we continue to keep this one green, Ross and Morano side by side for that 3rd and 4th position. Grady closing in right now on your race leader, Brandon Templeton, what is now 3/10 of a second. So Templeton, boy, I tell you what, in the next 5 to 10 laps, if he doesn't get a wriggle on, if he can hold off Joseph Grady, we might just have a battle for the race lead. But just as I say that, boy, Templeton got some drive there on the exit of turn number 2 and drove away. A lap away from half race distance right now. We're 14 down, 16 to go. Next time by, the cross flag sticks around, 15 down, 15 to go. John Rayner, the 302 car, will be the first car in the eyesight of that 31 car for Brandon Templeton to put a lap down. Ross drifts up the racetrack, opens up the inside line right there for Anthony Morano. Keeping an eye on Grady right now. Again, he's closed in. It's now down to 0.2 of a second. Rayner goes to the infield. So we stayed green. Rayner will go back to the pits. And we will keep this race clean and green. Templeton, Grady first and second. They've got a 1.1 second gap. Back to that 32 car of Anthony Morano. Make that 35 car, of Connor Ross. Then Anthony Morano in that fourth position. Grady now trying something different down into turn number 1 and 2. At the start-finish line, it's 2/3 of the race distance complete. 20 down and 10 laps left to run. Templeton, Grady, Ross, Morano, Reynolds, that's your top 5. Reynolds now closing in on the back of the 32 car of Anthony Morano. Jason Butterfield, you can see he's just down the left of your screen, down on the timing and scoring, slipping back to as low as 9th position. After having a top 5 car in probably the first 8 or 10 laps of the feature event. Ross still holding on to the final spot on the podium. Meanwhile, he's all been a bridesmaid at the moment is the 518 machine of Joseph Grandy. Templeton still looking for the race win. And boy, I tell you what, if he can get it, he would be very, very happy. Coming to 5 to go. 25 completed at the completion of this lap. Reynolds tried the inside there on Morano in 3 and 4. Reynolds trying the middle in 1 and 2. Looking for that extra bit of grip to get the drive off the turns. And the first time we see the yellow come out. And we've got Randy Shreves around. Oh, what happened to the 56 car of Shreves? Oh, just gets into the back of the 97 car of Butch Baker, and then the 28 of Jeff Sharp. Just nowhere to go in that exchange. So first caution in tonight's main event. So, 26 laps will be completed. They're waiting for the lights to go out. In fact, they're off. They're out on the Steve King Foundation safety car. It will pull infield. 4 laps to go. Templeton, boy, I tell you what, Greeny was not on the back bumper of that 31 car. And boy, he looks to run away with this one with only 4 laps left to go. You would think that Greeny had to be right on the rear bumper. Oh, look out, no, Morano goes around. Just a classic case of the check-up situation. And Morano, take a look at the replay. So I think it was Ross who just had to check up here. For Granny it was. Morano checked up. Reynolds tried to check up. And unfortunately we go yellow. Back to back very quickly. So, just like that, after having 25 green flag laps, we find ourselves with back-to-back cautions. Steve King Foundation safety car is infield. Templeton, Grandy, and Ross. Well, Grandy was a little closer there, but I'll tell you what, it's not going to matter because Connor Ross is going to dive down to the inside, down into 1 and 2, coming to 2 to go at the start-finish line. Templeton, well, you can pretty much all bar a caution in the next lap. You can pretty much sign, seal, and deliver the winner's check to the 31 car. It's a battle of the runner-up positions. How about Jason Butterfield? With about 10 to go, he was in 9th position. Now he's going to challenge for a podium position. 3 wide as they worked out into turn of 1 and 2. Brandon Templeton for the final time down into turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flag is out. They dive deep into 3 and 4. They hustle and bustle for position. Brandon Templeton going to come away victorious here in tonight's main event. And Templeton will get the win. We take a look at the official results coming up on screen. Brendan Templeton wins from Joseph Grandy. Jason Butterfield will come home 3rd position. Connor Ross 4th. Mark Gilbert going to round out the top 5. Jeffrey Barker, Dan McLaren, Randall Dixon in 8th. Anthony Morano 9th. Jeff Sharp going to round out your top 10 over the page. The final 4 finishers was Butch Baker in 11th. Randy Shrees 12th. Dean Reynolds in 13th, and John Rayner, the only car to finish in the pits, and 15 laps down to come home position number 14. But what a way to open up your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Series with the win. With the win going to the 93, make that the 31 car of Brandon Templeton. Speaking of the 93, let's bring him in right now. Home in 3rd place tonight is the 93 of Jason Butterfield. Jason, hey, congratulations on the 3rd place finish here tonight. And I'm going to say with about 10 laps to go, I've seen you as far as down as 9th place. I mean, you had some luck there in those last 10 laps, and 3rd place, not a bad way to start off this Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Series.
Yeah, I got caught on the bottom there. I tried something different, and bunch of cars just went past me. Everything was all topside, and the cautions we had actually helped me out.
Right, I think it was 25 green flag laps here to start, then a couple of quick back-to-back cautions, which meant basically 3 laps to decide who was going to come away with the podium. What was going through your mind there on the last restart? Because I noticed that Templeton just went straight to the bottom and looked like the bottom side was probably the place to be on those first couple of laps on a restart.
Yeah, after the initial start, I seen that I had speed up top, so I just stayed up there. And I had 2 guys in front of me, Ross and Schaefer, I think it is. And I seen they were going at it, so I just tried to go below them. And I don't know how I ended up with 3rd, but hey, I'll take it.
Well, mate, congratulations. 3rd place finish here tonight in the 358 at Limaland Motorsports Park. Before we let you go, sponsors, shout out to all that good stuff, buddy. Who makes this happen for you?
Yeah, I got to thank all the guys over at Venom. It's a great group of guys. C2C, U for Broadcasting, Brewer and Brewer, Garofalo's Imports, Otter Creek Lawnscapes, and most importantly, my wife.
All right, there we go, guys. Jason Butterfield home in position number 3. We'll chat to the man that comes home 2nd place tonight, the 518 of Joseph Grandy. Joseph, right, 2nd place, bridesmaid tonight. And, well, it's only 1 race done for the night. I'm pretty sure you've still got a couple more left to go.
Here, I can't hear you.
No, you got me? All right, we'll give him a second. We'll just wait for him. Yeah, Joseph, you back? You got me now?
Yeah, sorry, man. I can't hear you. There's something wrong.
All right, how about now? You got me now? Nope. All right, we'll move right on to our main event winner. And, well, he leads all 30 laps of tonight's main event. It is Brandon Templeton. Brandon, congratulations on the victory. Boy, I tell you what, you had Joseph there pestering at your heels for the first 25 laps. The caution comes out, and then that was obviously the caution that you needed just to pull away because you went straight to the bottom. And, again, the first couple of laps on in these 358 modifiers, probably the bottom is the place to be till they get wound up.
Yeah, Joseph was giving me all I could handle there. You know, pretty much the whole race, I was sweating it. He was tapping me a couple times, I know, and he was just all over me. I didn't know what to do. But for the most part, you know, the track had enough grip left that you could just run the middle there and keep it straight, keep in the throttle as much as you could. And then it kind of late there where it slicked off, I thought, well, maybe if I can hug those tires, I know it worked pretty good in the matinee. I knew I could probably hold them off, so that's where I went.
Right, a caution with, what was it, I think three to go. Were you a little nervous, or were you just thinking, you know, if you could just stick the bottom on the restart, you know, you were going to be good for those last couple of laps?
Oh, I was definitely nervous because, first of all, I didn't know if it was there, 100%. I didn't know if anyone had been running down there quickly or not, other than, the first corner or two on a restart. And second of all, I didn't know, the top side, he might have just blown by me. But gave it a shot. I figured if I hung out at the top, he was going to make a move and make something happen. So took the bottom, and it worked out.
Well, Brandon, congratulations on the victory here at the Limaland Motorsports Park, the 358 modified portion of the evening. Before we let you go, of course, sponsors, shout-outs, all that good stuff, buddy. Who makes this happen for you in the 31 car?
I got to thank the Dirt Track Bank. Shout out to them, racing up at the Silver Dollar Nationals at Huset's. And, good luck to Sabian and those guys up there. Hopefully they have a good showing. Hammer Down Racing, Joe, Kurt, and Brian. A lot of help, having multi guys on a team that can bounce ideas off each other and give feedback. Got Your Six Racing Network, Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care, you for doing the stream, everyone doing the coast to coast behind the scenes, and everyone watching at home. Thank you.
All right, well, on the win. We'll see you back in the big block modifieds very shortly.
Thanks.
There we go, guys. Brandon Templeton, your winner from the Limaland Motorsports Park, the 358 modified portion of the evening. And, well, we're not done with just yet because we have still got plenty of action to come here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Again, we're just waiting on getting the coverage live up on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. So, with that being said, oh, that shouldn't be up there. With that being said, I can't believe I left that up there. That being said, we are going to take a break here on Ultimate Dirt TV. We've got quite a few videos to play, and we will be back with your big block modifieds in just a few moments' time.
Are you listening? Are you missing me like I'm missing you? This just can't be true. Did you have to leave so soon?
When Steve died, the outpouring of love across the country was amazing. We realized we were in a position that no racing family wants to be in. The good that was coming out of that was that these dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation is important to me. It keeps Steve present in what we all do and what we all love, and that's racing.
My favorite memory of Steve was just how nice of a guy he was and how genuine he was.
I'm just sure that Steve would be very honored and thankful for the foundation and how it's honoring his name and all the good that the foundation does.
You go to a racetrack on Saturday, nobody expects to come out of there hurt. Unfortunately, sometimes it does happen. And thankfully we got people like the King family and everybody that's involved with the Steve King Foundation to help these families.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and the Stephen King Foundation reached out to me and told me that they had a check. I was absolutely floored. I just thought that they did this for drivers or crew members that got injured. Racing, they always say racing's like a big family.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal. I mean, it's kind of inspired me to start my own foundation within racing.
They were such a caring family, and they wanted to help others, and being able to just be associated with them to carry on his name to help other racers and their families to survive in the sport that we love so much has just been a real honor for me.
The thing that gets lost in translation is, yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life and it's the lives of racers everywhere is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Knoxville Raceway, they're lean, they're mean, they're 700 horses of man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. Here come the Cool Ray Coast to Coast Racing League Sprint Cars and the Mike Westbrook Memorial for the Knoxville Nationals. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Green, Spangler, green flag, showtime, Knoxville Nationals are green.
Join us for the 4th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals for the Steve King Foundation, July 31st to August 3rd. 4 days of open 360 Knoxville action using the Knoxville Nationals scoring system. $200 in payouts as well as loads of door prizes. $10 early bird entry by midnight Sunday, July 17th, then $15 for Coast to Coast members and $20 for non-Coast to Coast members. Max I rating has to be 3,000. All entries open to the first 100 drivers. 100% of registration fees go directly to the Steve King Foundation. All races will be broadcast on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. For more info, go to c2crl.com. It's showtime!
The outpouring of love is amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life and it's the lives of racers everywhere is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
For Lucy Olsen, she has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
We are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV coverage of the Coast to Coast Racing Network, or the Coast to Coast Racing League. This time it is now time for the Big Block Modified portion of the night. Heat races to come, followed by your feature race. Brett Wheeler with you for the call as we get set. We take a look, ladies and gentlemen, at your starting grid for heat race number 1. And it will line up like this. Jeffrey Barker on the pole position to the outside of the front row. Jason Butterfield from position number 2. Position number 3 is going to be Anthony Morano. Position number 4, Mark Gilbert. Position number 5, the 011 of Randall Dixon. Position number 6, Butch Baker. Position number 7, Brandon Templeton, the 31. And Jason Coffey in the 107 will line up out of position number 8. 2 heats on the program for tonight, and then we will move in to your warm-up session, followed by the main event to come later on. We look forward to having your coverage, your company here tonight. 1 of 3 here on Ultimate Dirt TV. But as it sits right now, we are in part number 2 of a triple header here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Again, your catalytic recovery, big block modified. What is week number 6 of the Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Series, presented by Coast to Coast Racing League and Coast to Coast Racing Network. 8 laps is on the board. Here we go. Green flag is out. And the big block modifieds are underway. Barker slides up, and look at Butterfield, who came fresh off a 3rd place finish in the 358s. He's now going to look down to the inside. He will lead lap number 1. Barker going to go sweeping to the outside. Morano looks to the inside. He went 3 wide with Gilbert through the middle of the raceway. Oh boy, Gilbert into the side of Butterfield. Gilbert going to go around. No cautions in your heat races. Only cautions in the main event. Barker to the outside of Morano now. Morano looking for the runner-up position. Almost going to try and challenge up for that race lead. 3 down, 5 to run. Heat 1 of 2 of the night. Fast and furious action here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. Going on the top side, Barker again, still trying to make it work on the outside. Boy, he's got the run on the exit of the turns. It's right around the midway point of the middle of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 is where he loses that speed. But I tell you what, he makes up for it as he works off the exit of turn 4. Gets a run, closing in on Jason Butterfield for the race lead. Boy, I tell you what, Butterfield, Barker and Morano putting on a show here in heat race number 1. Butterfield still going to hold on to the number 1 position. Morano still trying to pester Jeffrey Barker, but here comes Barker looking for the race lead to the outside of the 93 car. White flag is out, 1 lap left to run. We are set for an absolute barnstormer of a finish as we work down the back straightaway. Here comes Barker and Butterfield, wheel to wheel down into 3 and 4. Morano tries to go to the inside. Who's going to get it off turn number 4? Oh boy, that is too close to call. Heat race number 1, boy, what a doozy of a heat. Let's take a look. It is going to be Jeffrey Barker getting the win, 0.088 of a second over Jason Butterfield. Anthony Morano home in 3rd, Butch Baker in 4th, Brandon Templeton 5th, Randall Dixon, Jason Coffey and Mark Gilbert will be the 8 cars in heat race number 1. Heat number 2, Connor Ross lines up on the pole position to the outside of the front row. The 79 of Dean Reynolds from position number 2. Position number 3 will be the 56 car of Randy Shrewster. He's outside from position number 4, the 518 of Joseph Grady. Position number 5 will be the 88 of Dan McLaren, the 161 Terry Landis from 6. And out of 7 will be the 28 car of Jeff Sharp. Well, can Heat 2 live up to the expectation of what we just seen in heat race number 1? You'll have to wait and find out. Heat 2. Ready for a start. 8 laps on the board. Ross and Reynolds. We're underway. Oh boy, contact this. I think that was Reynolds coming down the racetrack trying to get the inside line. But we stay green here on the opening lap. Reynolds is going to lead from now what is Joseph Granny, just finishing in 2nd place in the 358 modifiers. But I tell you what, Connor Ross still trying to work to the inside. They'll work side by side down into 3 and 4. Behind them, 3 wide. Landis, McLaren and Shrees. Ross is going to get swallowed up now with McLaren to the inside. McLaren, Rees, they go top and bottom down into 3 and 4. Landis, Ross, they go right through the middle of the racetrack. Cowboy Terry Landis had to back out of it, trying to stick his nose in the middle of a 3-wide battle as Randy Shrees catches the wall in turn number 1 and 2. He got tight. Meanwhile, Connor Ross trying to close in right now on 2nd place driver of Joseph Grady. 4 down, 4 to run, make it 5 and 3. Dean Reynolds looking to put that 79 car, McLaren and Landis. McLaren's going to go around again. Like I said earlier, we stay green just for the simple fact there is no yellows in heat racing competition. 2 to go for Dean Reynolds in that Full Throttle Motorsports Super Dirt Car Series Cannabis 79 machine. Work on the backstretch for the penultimate time into turn number 3 and a 4. White flag is out. This will line up the outside row of tonight's main event. Down the back straight away. Into turn number 3 and 4. Heat number 2 is completed and your heat races are done and dusted. So it's just the 5 cars to finish heat race number 2. 2 cars in the pits. We take a look at Dean Reynolds getting the win from Joseph Grady in second, Connor Ross third, Randy Strees in fourth, Jeff Sharp fifth, Terry Landis, Dan McLaren will come over sixth and seventh. Those drivers will start at the back of the bus. We've got the warm-up session. We'll take a quick break here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Come back in just a few moments' time. You're watching week number 6 of the Coast to Coast Racing League Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Series Big Block Modifieds from the Limaland Motorsports Park.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
All right, we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV, coverage of the Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Series. It is Big Block Modified time, main event. Let's take a look at your feature race. Starting, Jeffrey Barker lines up on the pole position in the 513 car. To the outside of the front row, the 79 of Dean Reynolds from position number 2. From position number 3 with the 93 of Jason Butterfield. From 4, the 518 of Joseph Grady. From 5 to 32 of Anthony Morano. From 6 to 35 of Connor Ross. From 7 to 97 of Butch Baker. From 8 to 56 of Randy Strees. From 9 to 31, Brandon Templeton. From 10 to 28 of Jeff Sharp. From 11 to 11 of Randall Dixon. From 12 to 161 of Terry Landis. From 13 to 107 of Jason Coffey. From 14 the 88 of Dan McLaren. And in the 15th and final starting position with a 17 car of Mark Gilbert. We get set, ladies and gentlemen, main event time. The Steve King Foundation safety car about to pull infield. We are about to go racing. Race number 2 of the Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Series presented by the Coast to Coast Racing League and Coast to Coast Racing Network. the catalytic recovery, big block modified main event. We are racing down into turn number 1 and 2, and it will be Dean Reynolds in that 79 machine. 3 wide for 3rd, 4th and 5th position. Butterfield, Ross and Morano. Meanwhile, Barker and Granny, they go toe-to-toe through turn number 1 and out of turn number 2. Granny's got it as Dean Reynolds looking to pick up a main event victory. We went 25 green flag laps in the 358 modifieds. How many laps are we going to get in the big blocks before we get the first caution? I would love to see this race go green to checker. Barker a little crossed up as he comes off turn number 4. Now slides it up to 3/4 of the way up the racetrack. Ross, Morano, Butterfield. Sharp on the inside right now of the 56 car, Randy Shrees. Man, where do you look right now in this mid-pack? Brandon Templeton trying to come down to the inside, looking for 3 positions in the 1 turn, but he was unable to get any of them. Sharp, Shrees and Baker all powered around the outside of the 31 car. Meanwhile, Connor Ross diving down low down into turn number 1 and 2. Sharp and Shrees on screen. Sharp on the inside in that 28 machine. Shrees in the 56 to the outside. Up for 4th and 5th position. Connor Ross, Anthony Morano now 6th position in the 93 car of Jason Butterfield. Again finishing 3rd in the main event in the 358s. Grandy looking to go back-to-back 2nd places. He runs in the bridesmaid's position, but the bride out in front all alone is that 79 car of Dean Reynolds. Barker looking to find himself onto a podium here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. Baker, Sharp, McLaren. Then you go back to Gilbert in 11. Templeton in 12th. Templeton, I'll tell you what, hats off to him. He was very persistent in trying to make that bottom side work, just like the 93 car is right now of Jason Butterfield. Has to try something different. 10 down, 20 to run. Butterfield, the 93. Shrees in the 56 to the outside. He goes down into 3 and 4. You race for 5th and 6th off turn 4. Give it to Randy Shrees. They come across the start-finish line. Make that 6th and 7th position, For 4th and 5th is Connor Ross, Anthony Morano. And if I'm not mistaken, these two guys had a hell of a battle in the 358 modified feature event as well. So really going at it is these two drivers of Connor Ross, Anthony Morano. And now here comes Randy Shrees. Boy, he had a whole lot of steam down the back stretch into 3. We worked through turn number 1 out of 2. Again, you just seen the 56 machine just having the concrete wall. Let me tell you, no matter how many times you try and move it, it will not move. We come to back up front. We come to the front stretch. Cross flag sticks are out. 15 down, 15 to go. Dean Reynolds is halfway there, but I tell you what, here comes Joseph Granny. He's carrying some speed in the 518 machine as they work down the front straight away. Less than 2/10 of a second in as they work down into 1 and 2 one more time. Here he comes, Granny, looking down to the inside, trying to shortcut the racing line. Mini cutback line for the 518 machine of Granny, but I tell you what, if he's not too careful, if Reynolds and Granny are not careful, they get to work and side by side, that brings the 513 of Jeffrey Barker into the picture. Grandy still trying to get to the race lead with what is now 11 laps left remaining. Covering the line down into turn 1 and 2. And as this starts to heat up, Reynolds, Granny, Barker, nose to tail. It's now bringing the likes of Connor Ross, Anthony Morano, and Randy Shrees. 1.5 seconds separate your top 6, and all of them almost are all in the racing screen right now. Ross down to the inside into 3 and 4 on Jeffrey Barker. Single-digit laps remaining, and just as we got to 9 to go, caution flag comes out first time. See what happens. Ooh, Jeffrey Sharp. So the 28 car See how this unfolded. He was side by side with Dixon. Oh! And the right front of Dixon there just got him in the left rear of the 28 of Jeff Sharp. And that was enough to send the 28 car around. There was contact with the wall, but again, come back live with just 9 to go. Nine to go, we're back underway. Your main event, Ken Reynolds, can he hold on for a main event victory here at the Limaland Motorsports Park? Morano drive the inside through 1 and 2. He'll do the same through turn number 3 and 4, but Connor Ross sweeps back to the outside. Just keep an eye on that time and the gap between first, second and third. Shrees looking to move back to position number 5. Here he comes, the top 3 right now. Barker closing in on Grandy, and Grandy closing in on Reynolds. 7 to go. Barker had to back out. Oh, look, Grandy was going to come down the racetrack. Here comes Connor Ross to the inside on Barker. Ross into the side of Grandy. Ross going to lose out in that position, in that exchange. Here comes Randy Shrees. Shrees looks like the quickest car on the racetrack at the moment. Oh, boy, they check up. Barker, Ross. Shrees had to check up. Morano checked up. There was contact on the back straight away. 5 laps left to go for Dean Reynolds. Can he hold on? Look at this. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. They're 2 by 2 by 2. Here at Limaland, Ross going to slide up in front of Barker. He'll park it on the nose of the 513 car. Barker goes back to the middle of the racetrack into turn number 1 and 2, but Ross still works back to the outside down the back straightaway. Move Connor Ross to position number 3. Here comes Joseph Craney closing in. 3 laps left to run here at Limaland Motorsports Park. He's got to run off turn number 2. Reynolds has got to be patient, and you've got to wonder how are the nerves right now for both of these drivers that were side by side. Reynolds shuts the door down into turn number 1. It's got 2 laps left to go here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. Who's going to get it? Who will take out your catalytic recovery? Big block modified main event. We come to the white flag. Reynolds, Grandy, side by side down into turn number 1 and 2. You couldn't ask for a better finish than this one into 3 and 4. Here comes Connor Ross trying to peek to the outside. Off turn number 4. Who's going to get it? Dean Reynolds is going to win the big block modified main event. Dean Reynolds is victorious here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. Oh, what a way to finish the catalytic recovery big block modified main event. Dean Reynolds will be victorious. We take a look at the A main results. Dean Reynolds just holding on by under 0.2 of a second over Joseph Grandy. And Connor Ross will come home 3rd. 4th is going to be Anthony Morano. Jeffrey Barker home in 5th. Butch Baker 6th. 7th is Dan McLaren. Randy Shrees 8th. Mark Gilbert 9th. Randall Dixon rounds out the top 10. 11th is Jason Butterfield. Terry Landers 12th. Jason Coffey 13th. Jeff Sharp 14th. And 1 lap down is Brandon Templeton in position number 15. Oh my, what a way to finish off that big block modified main event. Let's go 3rd place finisher right now in the 35 machine. That is Connor Ross. Connor, congratulations on the 3rd place finish here tonight. And man, I'll tell you what, those last couple laps, I thought you had something for Grandy and Reynolds there, but man, 3rd place still a good way to finish off the big block modified portion of the night.
Yeah, 100%. That was a hell of a battle for that, man. For everyone through the field. We had like 4 cars there under a blanket for 3rd. There, and then once I got away from that, I got 3rd, and I was tracking him down. There were 2 laps left, and then I really closed in on him. And I was going to try and back up the corner and diamond it off and see if I couldn't get a straight run, but I think I just hit the brakes too hard or just got it too sideways there. I should have just kept it up on the top and sailed it in, sailed it out, but 3rd place isn't that bad.
Well, talk us what was going through your mind there. Just the 1 caution in that main event, and we only had 2 cautions. 3 cautions in what has been 60 laps. Make that 80 laps, in fact 100 laps if you count all the 4 heat races. How good is this racetrack in modifieds at the moment?
Oh, it's a blast in modifieds. the track, if it was worn in a bit more and it was if it was a lot more slicker, it's a great 2-lane track. Is you can run that top, but then you can also enter in on that top, run that diamond line, or either run the middle. It's a great 2-lane, sometimes even 3-lane track. And a lot of these guys, you can run side by side, not make any contact or just rub up against them. But I think if the track was a bit slicker, you would have seen a lot better racing, but it was still a pretty damn good race.
Absolutely was. Connor, congratulations on the third place finish here tonight. Before we let you go, of course, sponsors, shout out to all that good stuff, buddy. Who makes this happen for you in the 35 car?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out and congratulations to Dean Reynolds for winning that thing. That was fun. Congrats to him. I got to thank Gambler Motorsports, Petro Plus, Burger Barn, Ace One Construction, Kingpin Farms, Pesky Penguin, you for broadcasting this every Thursday. This is awesome. And the league for another amazing season.
There we go, guys. Connor Ross home in position number 3. Home in second spot tonight is the 518 machine, Joseph Grandy. Joseph, got a copy?
Yep, I got you this time.
Hey, buddy, congratulations, second place. Man, I tell you, were just that little bit too short, but man, you threw everything at, including the kitchen sink there at Dean, and boy, what a way to finish off this one. You come home with a second place finish.
Yeah, I had the same issue I had with the 358s. The way the track was, it was just hard to really pull anything to get around somebody. And I'm not a huge fan of sliders, so try to race as clean as I can, and I'm happy with a second.
And what was going through your mind now on that what was the final restart? Because, I mean, with what was 7, 8, maybe even 9 laps left to go, I mean, anything could have happened there.
Yeah, I was hoping he gave me just a little enough room to get up top, but he was just high enough to where I couldn't go around him. So the last lap, obviously, I tried to go on the bottom. I knew it wasn't going to be as quick, but hopefully, thinking maybe he'd make a mistake, then I'd get around him. But he did a good job. Congrats to Dean.
Right, 2 second place finishes, 1 in the 358 modifieds, now 1 in the big block modifieds. Overall, a successful night for you so far, and I'm sure you've still got another league race to do after this one. But Joseph, before we let you go, a lot of good spots on this race car. I'm sure there's a great whole bunch of people behind the scenes that make this possible for you to come out each and every night and run.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Catalytic Recovery, West End Towing and Repair, Coast to Coast, all their sponsors, all the guys behind the scenes, my girlfriend Olivia for letting me do this, and I'll see you at the King's Royal here in a little bit.
All right, there we go, guys. Joseph Grandy, your runner-up finisher for the second time in 2 races. And, well, it's been a long time between drinks, but it's about time he finally gets one. He breaks the curse. Dean Reynolds victorious in the big block modifieds. How does that one sound, Dean?
Oh, thanks, Brett, man. And after what happened in the 358s, I was really bummed. I mean, I know it was racing, what happened there, and sometimes you get that. You know, I race as well, but it's just a bummer there because I was looking at a top 5 and a good points night there. That's the points thing I'm trying to shoot for is the 358s, but that one hurt. But, you know, I had a good draw. The car felt good in the heat, and I don't know if I was the fastest in the feature because I tell you, when you lead, you just don't know where to run. And I don't look at the mirror. I only look at the mirror when I do a slide job or under yellow for some stupid reason. I look at a mirror, but I heard Joseph in my right ear. I heard him in my left ear, and he says, I was trying everything. And I said, well, I tried to make the car as wide as I could.
Man, I can tell you right now, you did actually turn the fastest lap of the race. You're one of 2 drivers to go into the 12.5 second bracket. But, man, how nervous, when you hear a car on the right, you hear a car on the left coming to what was inside the last 5 laps, how are the nerves holding up for you in that 79 machine?
Well, I was glad the restart happened because with a restart, you always gain 2 laps. You should be able to hold on to the lead for 2 laps because you can start where you want. So I go, well, I'll gain 2 laps here. I didn't know where my tires were going. I was trying not to abuse them. I don't know if they even go that much in a big block in a 30-lap race. But yeah, I mean, you try to just keep the car straight is what you try to do, not spin the wheels in a big block. 358, you got a little more forgiving, but you know, and then I told Grandy on that last lap, I said, I'm just running the middle. I go, you're either going to have to go way around me or go underneath me, and I'm going to block a slider, and that's what I did. And he said, you made the right move.
Hey, talk us through the cockpit. Talk us what was going through your mind and what it was like in those final 2 laps, but also that final lap coming to the checker.
Well, I did hear Joseph underneath me on the coming on the last lap. And the last lap, you do look at a mirror because you got to do what you need to do there. And coming off 4, I had a good run, and then I heard his motor going back. So I said, I think I got this. And, you know, it's cool. This is my, I believe, 3rd big block win in coast to coast. I don't win a lot, but I just, I like to get some podiums, and but I always wanted to talk to you, Brett, as a winner, and that's really cool. And we're dabbing a little bit more in sprints, and I'm so glad to support one of your sponsors, King Race Designs. He did an awesome job on my sprint car, so I like to support everybody, and I'm just glad to talk to you, my friend.
Well, buddy, congratulations on the victory. Before we let you get out of here and celebrate this remarkable victory here at the Limaland Motorsports Park, a lot of sponsors on this car, a lot of great people behind the scenes that make this possible for you and each and every night to come out and run. And now's an opportunity to thank those people that helped get you here.
I got to thank the guys from Full Throttle Motorsports. First of all, they let me join their team, and I got a little bit of speed thanks to a lot of them and what they do. And Gunnar Swanchera there at Swan Speed Shop. Got to thank the guys at Team Venom. They allow me in their Discord, and we really do help each other out when we race, and that was a lot of fun there. And then of course Isaac Salas, I sponsor Isaac. I like to sponsor a few cars in the thing, and he came in the Discord. He's not able to race, and he congratulated me, so that was really cool. Got to thank Coast to Coast for the league. Also want to thank Catalytic Recovery. Joseph Grandy, Joseph actually lives down the road about 2 hours from me in New York here. He lives in the Albany area, and I live in Syracuse. And Catalytic Recovery is a New York-based company, and I used to sponsor the big blocks of Super Dirt Car Series, but he picked it up after I stepped back, and I want to thank him and for his sponsorship. And Brett, UDTV, and you coming on in and picking up Thursday night. You add a lot to it. I like you when you say I'm high, wide, and handsome and dirty for 30. So that's really cool in the Australian accent. I like that. And I think my dad and my girlfriend are watching too, and I say hi to them as well.
All right, buddy. Well done on the win. I'm sure we'll see you back next week.
All right, Brett. Take care, man. Good to talk to you.
Good, buddy. Well done. There we go. Dean Reynolds, ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the Catalytic Recovery Big Block Modified main event winner here at the virtual Limaland Motorsports Park. And, of course, that will wrap up what has been the two races of your Gambler Motorsports Thursday Night Thunder Series live here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Again, we apologise about not having it on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, but hopefully we can get that one loaded up on that channel some stage throughout the course of the next week or so. But for now, we are done with the Coast to Coast Racing League, and now we look forward to the 6th annual running of the Dirty Old Bastards Kings Royal, which will be happening in just under 1 hour's time, live back here on Ultimate Dirt TV. But for that, we'll come back for that one in just a moment. But for now, we say thank you to everybody, to the drivers, teams, the sponsors, and the Coast to Coast Racing League. Check them out on the World Wide Web, www.c2crl.com, for more information about this wonderful league and how you can be a part of it. But for now, until next time, until next week, and on behalf of the team here at Ultimate Dirt TV and the manager behind the scenes, I am Brett Wheeler, signing off, saying good night. We'll see you back next week.